show it. Tell me what you feel in your heart and your soul. There's nothing I would take for granted. With me we'll make it through. Takes two hearts to fix heartbreak. We grew apart, I made a mistake, but I'll try to make it up to you, my darling. Ooh,
I wanna be a real one day. Heaven leaves me up from under. Wishing I could be somehow stronger now,
so I can fight away all the pain inside me. Never be afraid of the fate that finds me.
wish that I could be
Stronger,
so I can be a real one day.
so I can fight away all the pain inside me. Never be afraid of the fate that finds me.
Wish that I could be stronger so I can be a real one day.
Maneuver. Spawning in 5 minutes.
We keep running faster and faster. I don't know where we're after, yeah. We keep up with disaster, disaster. I'm thinking that they're after me. We're running like faster and faster. We're running like faster and faster. We keep running faster and faster. I don't know what we're after, yeah. We keep up with disaster, disaster. I'm thinking that they're after.
Welcome to the LXC.
flashing bright. Players take the stage. Iron silver.
Play here. Good pull there. We see that Bubble's going to be doing a lot of damage. We see Twitch gets the kill onto Misfortune as a response. There's a lot of trading, a lot of damage. This fight is going back and forth. Hoodie Man does get a double kill, and we see Bubble picks up a massive double kill for hits the clone and helium, but the Thunder God is here. Galio is going in to get the response. Bardo, but we see the flash engage is not able to land on the targets they want. Galio gets the kill, and Mumu picks it up onto Nami. This ends up being a pretty close fight, but Neon is not touched in the back. But look at Pizza. Pizza's on the flank as Neon is on the run, but look, Pizza, I keep calling him out. He's in a bit of a weird spot as the E goes a little bit short. He does get taunted there. Dragon is trying to buy enough space with Hoodie. He's coming out from Renekton. They're wanting to fight, and they're wanting to fight now. The ultimate does land. It's a 3-man, but the bullet time is doing a lot of damage. It's not able to hit a ton. And look at the damage from the Lissandra there. It's crazy. Pizza goes for a hero play, but the exhaust and the rest of his team is going to make it so that they cannot get it done.
From the bottom up, reach for the skies. All roads lead tonight. Everyone's fight. Climb up in the height. Shine on in the light. Game's on fire now. Tension in the air.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to LXC Season 2 Arbiter. We're on the final week of the winter split. I'm here, Scarlett, and I'm here with Star Burrito. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good. And we've got a really fun match today because we've got the two undefeated teams playing against each other for Arbiter to really figure out seeding. It's just funny how this ended up working out. I was looking at the schedule 2 weeks ago and I was mentioning this. So I was hoping that this would happen, and it has. Both teams have just not been defeated, and they're playing today.
Although
So,
I will say both teams are undefeated, but TD Harmony here has actually dropped like a game
mhm.
compared to Contingent Purple, who has yet to like lose a single game. So it's
Yeah.
gonna be a banger either way for sure, but that's just something I wanted to point out.
Speaking of dropping a game, unfortunately, Toxin, for the starting jungler for TD Harmony, will be dropping a game, not here for game 1. We're going to be replacing him with King VV for game 1, but he should be here for game 2 and game 3. And I'm kind of interested in how that works out because you got trade-offs there. You know, yeah, you don't have your starting lineup, but you also don't have 300 ping because Toxin, I don't know if people on the stream are aware, he plays from South Korea, so now King VV will be here and able to communicate within 2 milliseconds instead of 300 or whatever.
All right, looks like draft is about to go live here.
Yes.
We're just waiting for it to ready up. Yep, draft is live. All right. I think who do you think you're gonna see banned here? I think I'm gonna be
I don't know. I
seeing
feel like
some...
the meta has been shifting. Mel is available now, correct? Yeah, because it's been a week for sure. And I expect to see her somewhere, either on the ban list or the playlist.
Did you say
for
Mel?
bot lane. Yeah, Mel. I just
Yeah,
feel like the champion is going to be in every champ select for a while. I don't know how it is down here. Like sometimes at this level, new champions take a while to filter in, but the champion's not hard to play. But we're going to see different mages banned. Well, just one, Lux, and then Senna banned so far.
Yeah, I do think Purple, at least like looking at like the games that I've seen, it looks like probably Contingent's strongest player is Bubbles, so I am expecting to see some mid bans for her.
Mhm.
So we saw the Lux, maybe we'll see maybe a Kali or Ari in this third ban, but we'll see. MF got banned, very strong pick, a really good team fighting champ, can't go wrong with her.
Yeah, one thing you'll notice at this level is that sometimes whenever a champion was meta, it'll stay in the meta here for a while, and then Misfortune is not necessarily something like once you pick it up, you kind of know how to play it. So, you might go patch to patch, updating the build, but you just press R. Victor, similar in a lot of ways. He hasn't been as broken as he was upon rework, but he's still here.
Yeah, it's still a really good scaling champ. I'm a big Victor enjoyer, so unfortunately we don't get to see that played today, but who knows what will happen here in this third ban. Oh yeah, there's the Ari ban that I was kind of expecting, and then Smolder. Okay, so it looks like they just banned 3 scaling champs. I don't know how
Hmm.
Contingent likes to play, but based on the 3 that they banned, they probably enjoy, like, getting ahead early and then small snowballing based off of the bans that they did.
Either that, or they just feel like even if they play a mid-game comp, they just don't feel confident enough to shut down that kind of stuff.
Right.
But a Moo is a mid-game champion. No misfortune to pair it with, but it's still very good at just pressing R. And it's kind of interesting. We see a Jinx hover. I don't know if that's what I would pick with just a Moo showing. It's nice to blind pick that AD carry for sure, but it's a little scary to play that into that little amount of CC.
Looks like they're gonna pair with J4. But yeah, no, I agree. Jinx doesn't really have any. She's very immobile, and
Mhm.
into an Amumu, like that's a little bit scary. Maybe they have something planned, but right now it is looking a little bit scary with the Amumu.
Right, but if you're just playing for lane, I mean, you could pick Mel blind. I think that'd be really good, but Jinx is right up there.
Yeah,
What are
I'm
they gonna
surprised
pick?
Mal isn't getting
Varus?
picked.
Varus Cassante.
Casante, interesting.
So it looks like we want to get the Cassante in under any bans, and then if Contingent don't pick their top laner here, they can ban some counters, which feels really nice. I have
Yeah,
been liking Cassante for that blind potential there, because you're gonna have to blind pick probably one of your solo lanes, and just getting the Cassante in
anyways,
before
yeah.
any bans come in feels really nice. However, Contingent do answer before the bans come in on the other side, so it's gonna be Cassante versus Gnar up there.
Yeah, top lane, I've mentioned this in the past before, but obviously, like, new people, new faces. I can't really comment on top because it's the only role, Jesus, the only role I don't play, so I don't really know how that matchup goes. I'm assuming it's a counter pick. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, we're
comp lanes is
seeing
just a
some,
different game, so you got two
yeah,
players that just don't play that
it's an
one,
island.
unfortunately. We'll talk about the other lanes, so it's fine.
Looks like they're gonna
Orianna
play
ban.
Orianna, yeah.
Yeah, we're just gonna see a lot of mid bans
Akali,
because I don't think they're worried about contingent support. It's gonna be something to appeal for Jinx, but they are going to have to worry about mid counter pick. And for contingent, taking away some of the easy blind picks from TD Harmony makes it a lot easier to have that counter pick. So I think it makes sense that both teams with the mirrored picks of AD carry jungle top are just targeting the mid rather than support.
yeah, I wonder though if they want to ban at least TDH. I wonder if they want to ban Milio. I don't know if the support plays Milio, but I feel like that's a really good pick for them right now. But no, we're just gonna see more mid bans. How many mid bans are there this game? One, two, three, four, five, 7 mid bans this game. I
Yeah,
mean 8 if you're
depends on if you
counting
count
Smolder as
Smolder.
mid. Yeah, but that is a lot of mid bans. So I wonder
I
what
do feel
Bubbles is
like
gonna play here.
looking at these matchups, I mean, Bubbles versus Frost, I feel like it's kind of the, important lane anyways, especially with Toxin not here right now, and King
Right.
VV stepping in. Targeting that mid lane makes sense. Now they're going to save mid counter pick and pick the Rakan, but Rakan Jinx into Varus Blink feels like a tough lane almost. I know Rakan has been
Yeah.
gaining a lot of prominence. I'm just worried about the laning phase right now.
Yeah, maybe they're just not playing for the laning phase. Maybe they're just gonna pick a strong mid laner here and then play around that. They're gonna counter it with Taric, which I think is a pretty good pick, and then
Oh,
Yone.
blind pick Yone.
I remember we were
Now,
talking about this earlier, was that Soulkeeper mentioned it that this mid laner here, Frost, plays AD mid laners, and I don't think Bubbles has played against an AD player, like AD mid player yet, so he was wondering how this matchup is gonna go. And I agree, like, you don't see mid laner AD mid laners often anymore, including like when it's like mage meta in my opinion.
mhm.
So like I'm really interested and then respond with
Yeah,
this
because AV
song.
junglers have just not been good for a while until Zyra came back
Yeah.
in the meta. But
Yeah.
Amumu, I mean, he's going to do the same thing every time, right? It kind of sucks whenever your only AP damage is Amumu. It probably works out okay here because there's not much tankiness coming out from Contingent.
Yeah,
I
I think
do
it's
like the
fine.
Lissandra, though. I
Yeah.
feel like Blubbles has played Lissandra blind before, and she feels comfortable in the champion, so it's not like one of those things where like, oh, I looked up the counter list. 80 mid, I'll pick Lissandra. I think she knows how to play this champion, and this matchup can work pretty well for her.
Yeah, it's a pretty good denial. Like if Yone tries going in, she has W, she has E, she has R when she hits level 6. So she pretty safe mid laner, including into a Yone who's very like self-sustained. So I think it'll be a good matchup.
I do feel like for Contingent, they have the tools to make such a good team fight in the later parts of the game, but the tools are kind of hard to use. I mean,
Yeah.
you're talking about Gnar, one of the hardest top laners to play a team fight around, like not just for the Gnar player, but the entire team, right? You kind of have to time your engage with the Mega Gnar, get a good position. And then you've also got Rakan Lissandra. Now, the good news is that they can start a fight whenever they want. Like, Rakan sees Mega Gnar, presses R, goes in. But if Rakan is not on board with how to play with Gnar, this could be kind of hard for Contingent to pull off.
Yeah, I think I like TDH's team just a little bit more because I think they just have a bit more damage compared to Contingent. I mean, like, both teams have, I think, sustained damage, but I think when it comes to team fights, you have the Taric to deny damage, you have a Mumu Cassante to go in, Yon to follow. It's gonna be, like, I don't think they have that much peel on Contingent's side to deny all this, like, engage from them.
Now, one thing I will say for Contingent's positive side on the damage front is that both Jarvan and Gnar aren't really health stackers. They're kind of stat stackers in a way.
Yeah.
So whenever a Mumu gets Leandries, if Varus goes lethality, they're kind of concerned, right? Like, Jarvan doesn't get that tanky, but he's not taking that much damage from Leandries. He's not taking damage from lethality Varus. He kind of has more room to move, and once he's gonna get Merc Treads, right? So he gets free MR anyways, because even though they don't have much magic damage, you're gonna get Merc Treads against a Mumu Varus Taric. So I would be concerned about killing this Jarvan. At the end of the day, though, if you kill the Jinx, you don't care about the Jarvan.
Yeah.
So maybe they don't have to worry that much.
I think this is literally gonna come down to if they can kill the Jinx. I think if Jinx stays alive and then can get that reset with her passive, and then I think the fight will be over. But I think it just depends of how well this Jinx can position and like position well against this enemy team.
Yeah, it feels like for Contingent, if they could have like a 6th pick that they could replace one pick with, they would just be like, okay, we take back the Jinx though. Because it does feel like, you know, you've drafted your comp around this team fight based comp, but I'm worried that it gets busted in laning phase or just by people killing Jinx. And I feel like there are better AD carries for this, like Kaisa or some other AD carry. So one thing to watch in this game is definitely to see if that Jinx can keep both alive and get any kind of gold in the laning phase.
Yeah, that or they change the Rakan out. I think maybe like a enchanter. Like I still think Melia is great here in my opinion. I think Melia would have been a good pick here, but I don't know really the support spec. I haven't taken a look fully, but either way, I think these are both pretty strong teams, and we're gonna see like who comes out on top.
Yep, and the lanes to watch are definitely mid and bot lane, and I'm not just saying that because of top lane being top lane. Actually, Cassandra
It's
is
an
kind of
island.
interesting. But either way, we're going to be watching those games after our quick delay break, and then we'll be into game 1 of TD Harmony versus Contingent.
Mirrors on the wall, staring back at me. Stranger in the hall, frozen by the scene. Portraits seem to fade. He lost his centerpiece. Can't recall his face. I hope he'll rest in peace. Haunted by my mind, victim or the prey. Everything is fine. Take me to my grave. Bury me alive, keeping me astray. Hard to say goodbye to who I am today. Everything is fine. Take me to me to my grave, bury me alive, keeping me astray. Hard to say goodbye to who I am today. Haunted by my mind, victim or the prey. Everything is fine. Take me to my grave, bury me alive, keeping me astray. Hard to say goodbye to who I am today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Game 1 of TD Harmony versus Contingent Esports. Purple. We are on the rift. Everyone's 5-pointing. Feel like invading has just been illegal for a while, ever since they changed First Blood to First 3. But you never know. You might see one every once in a while.
You know, yeah, they might change it up, doing a little bit of a bamboozle, but yeah, typical 5-point here. I know in loading screen, I don't know if you want to mention it with the Cassante and Grasp. You were a bit worried about it, right?
Well, I don't know, because with Gnar, sometimes you do get to proc it, but I feel like it's going to be hard to proc. Yet, I think some champions have been taking it even if they can't proc it that often, just for the heal whenever it does happen. Oh, wait, we got a late ward and try. Okay, nothing to... Just dueling wards and try. But yeah, I don't know how that matchup's going to go. I do feel like Grasp is going to be on single-digit procs by 10 minutes in. But sometimes that's all you need.
Another rune, I'm not saying it's a bad rune, but Lysandra and Arcane Comet. I think personally I would have liked maybe Electrocute, including I like Electrocute in these melee matchups because if they have to walk up, you can punish them a lot more. But including when you're playing Lysandra, because you have that CC to stop them and
I'm not sure if
easily
this
block your
all in works,
Electrocute.
by the way. W misses. It definitely doesn't work if you miss that. Now the stun also misses, but right now Jinx is taking 6 minions to the face. Atomic is taking a lot of autos though. And it looks like Jinx will be able to just trade health with Taric. But I feel like that favors the Taric Varus.
Yeah, I think so too, because in that fight you want to go for the Jinx, and if Jinx is already low or having to use a pot already, it's not looking great for Contingent.
Now, Jinx does have biscuits though, so maybe it's part of the plan, and also gets level 2 here, I'm pretty sure. Can they use it at all though? So W does hit this time, E also hits. It's a pretty good chain. It doesn't quite hit, but it makes Atomic walk all the way around. And they have just made up for their interesting trade level 1 by making sure to get level 2 first, which you always should do as Jinx.
We can see Gnar here getting a cheeky ward in the blue side. Now that they know that it's gone, they should know Amumu is pathing bot, so which is pretty nice for Contingent to know. They can know like, hey, in about 30 seconds, mid and bot lane here should be a little bit careful for the Amumu ganks, and they are pinging it now, so they should know that where he is. So, I mean, they should just look where their jungler is and then pretty much match because they have pretty much the exact same clear time.
Yes, but I do feel like they win the 3v3 even if Jarvan is late just because of how strong the early trade was. So I'm not sure that they're gonna let up the gas at all. Like, you can see Jinx still hitting minions, still trying to crash on cannon. Maybe they let the waves afterwards come back. Oh, Frost is getting punished for playing that melee into range. But, you know, Bubble, I mean, she is taking quite a bit of damage still. So the health bars aren't that... Oh, wait, Jarvan just skipped blue to make sure that he can either get the gank or the crab. I think the crab as well. So going down a little bit of tempo on clear, but making sure...
He's gonna be under level now. Oh, yeah, I see us level up,
Yeah, they should be equal because even though you're minus blue, you're plus crab. Meanwhile, Atomic is on the wrong side of this, has to flash over the wall. Varus just get a nice trade under Rakan though, but it's Rakan, so it's okay. He just gets the shock out. Flash in from Amumu, but the Q misses and camera says that play's not real. We have to go to top lane. Where we see the grass spot, maybe.
Did you see a flash? I didn't see a
that
flash.
Q would have been interesting, but unfortunately it just doesn't connect. I like that follow-up, you know, sometimes whenever you make a misplay, you just want to back away and never talk about it again, but still going for it, you know. Either way,
Jinx down, I like it.
Right, but you can see Neon's out of mana here, and the wave's kind of in an awkward spot. He's setting up an interesting freeze, but I think Forest Tark just gets to bully him out of it because Khan had to leave.
Yeah, at least he still gets like the minions. He gets a little bit of solo XP. It's not terrible, but now he's out of sync with his support. It looks like Dragon and Owl might just be ganking bot here though because he knows Neon needs to back, and maybe they can take advantage of this. They also know
but mid lane, this is not the health bars you want to be seeing. The knockup lands as well. Bubble has to flash, and she is not having the counter matchup that she expected whenever she locked in these champions. And I'm not sure that Jarvan has the time to come help it either because bot lane also looks like it's going to be volatile. Speaking of helping lanes, Complex is getting a buff from Amumu here, but the Q3 misses! Complex isn't a mana. The Q hits from King Vivi though. That was an amazing Q. I think Arameshi just gets to... Oh, the stun too! Complex doesn't need mana for that 20 mana Q. Flash in and first blood for Cassante. Now, on the other side, Jinx will be taking this dragon for it, but Neon has not backed yet. So it's not exactly a trade that will go without consequences in the bot lane as well.
Yeah, I think Neon really needs help, like, needs to ask, hey, I need this wave pushed out, I need it back, because now Neon is down gold.
Oh, but we're moving the Rakan, so Neon's just been sacrificed by his team. I guess they really just want to say, team fights are not about you. And
it looks
hope
like they're
that
just trying to go for
carry.
these grubs here.
You know, at the end of the day, you don't have to worry about Jinx team fights if you just have Gnar on side lane split pushing with 6 grubs.
True.
But I'm not sure that they can easily win this, though. With how the mid lane matchup has gone. I mean, I guess...
It depends who gets caught first. I think that's just what it's going to come down to.
Right, but Bubbles doesn't have flash, so it's a lot easier to catch her. King VV, missing that Q, also doesn't have flash. But it is up a level on Jarvan. I don't know, these grubs are so awkward because we spent so much for both teams on them, and neither team has actually pressed on it yet. Foxhound getting the nice knockup on Frost here, but Frost still has a lot of tools. Actually, Rakan has to be a little careful here. King Vivi has no flash, so there's no threat for Lysandra. But the threat is on Gnar right now, who is not Mega. It's so close, yet so far. Exhaust making it delayed even more. Frost gets to eat out once this ult is over, and Mega Gnar comes in, gets a stun. King Vivi has no flash, will go down. Cassante knocks in an entire enemy team. I'm not sure that's what he wants. Yon ult only hits Lysandra, and it's going to be an entire wipe of TD Harmony. As, Complex might get something because Cassante moment? No! And Contingent Esports gets all of the kills and all of the grubs after getting the dragon.
I'm gonna be honest, that's not how I thought the fight was gonna go, because if you're looking at, like, based on items and leveling, J4, Dragon Out was level 4 at the start of that fight, and he is yet to back, so he's down he was down gold compared to the Amumu, but like I guess it didn't matter. They found the pick that they needed to, and it worked out perfectly for them. And now they get 3 Grubs and Drake, and they got the first feat, so they're in a really good spot right now.
Yeah, I think it was just that unfortunately TD Harmony spent all of their eggs trying to make sure that Urameshi could not get to Mega Gnar. They exhausted him to even further delay his Mega Gnar, but they just didn't have the damage, so he got to do it anyways. Oh, Dragon trying to catch the wave, but Yon says, you gotta deal with me first. I'll still get cannon though.
Yeah, it looks like Neon's level 6, just chilling bot lane, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe bot lane's the island this game, you know? They're just like, hey, we want to get Gnar back in this game, you know? Top lane matters, I think is that what Contingent is saying here.
Yeah, because Atomic moved for the Grubs and Varus doesn't have 6 yet, Neon was able to survive that lane with just a Doran's Blade, go for a recall, get a BF sword, and only lose a plate for it. Even the CS is only -1 wave, so, you know, you're kind of okay with being -1 wave, -1 players Jinx anyways. Their decision to put all of the resources on the top side of the map has not affected Neon as badly as it could have if Atomic tried to punish it.
Including when based on what they got, like, she's down 200 gold, but her team got 3 kills, a Drake, and 3 Grubs. So it's like, when you look at the team itself, like, they're still in a really good spot. And I think either way, Jinx is going to be an issue later on. It doesn't matter if she gets ahead or not.
Right. As long as she's not -5 waves, -1 wave is totally fine. Especially if she gets that premium BF sword recall to make sure Yuntal is finished at a good timer.
Yeah. Looks like each lane's just gonna have a stalemate right now, just hitting back and forth.
Actually, mid might turn something here. EQ in, doesn't get the knockup though, so Lissandra will just come back. Bot lane, however, Atomic is in the river again. The stun does land. Rocket also lands though. Amumu only gets 1. It's gonna be a 1-for-1 right now. Amumu not out yet though, gets knocked up. Does have flash right now. Looks like Kitik is trying to protect by being aggressive. I'm just not sure that Neon Sword has to buy into this. Does flash away. Rakan coming up with cooldown soon. Just going for that for now. Slow down on Neon. Here comes the Rakan. Flash out of it though, and Yon is here. Yon ult finds Rakan, and surely they'll find Neon giving it over to Yon. And that mid lane just became a major problem for Bubbles.
Yeah, that was a really good rotate timer for Frost. Realized that Bubbles has to back, and the wave was in a fine state for him to rotate, and he took that advantage like really well. And now he's got those 2 kills, and now he's gonna be a big issue for Bubbles, I think.
Yeah, she's got about until Frost finishes the recall and buys with how much gold he's got until she's under a ton of pressure.
Right. She's also down a little bit CS. I wouldn't really expect that considering like it's a ranged melee matchup, but she is down just a little bit of CS, about 10.
Yeah, I
guess,
think it's just
how strong
an experience. Yeah, it's an experience in the melee AD matchups and also how those early trades went, where Bubbles unfortunately had the health disadvantage early. Now both teams are looking at this dragon.
Contingent really want this Drake because this is feats for them if they get this Drake, and I think also TDH, they know that that this is their thing. So King BB might look for the steal here.
Right, he has to go for just the steal because even though this Yon is really strong, he used his ultimate, and so did Amumu. So even though in a few minutes that's going to be a huge problem, right now Yon without ult, Amumu without ult, you can get that dragon pretty free.
Yeah, it looks like a quick 11-minute feats. I think that's a really good. That's really good for.
No one hasn't even upgraded their boots yet, so it's basically just whenever you buy your boots, feast.
Yeah, which hopefully they buy soon, because I've seen some games like even like in Diamond Elo where people just chill with their tier 1 boots when they have feats, and I'm like, maybe you should get those at least to tier 2 just to get those bonuses.
Now I imagine with the ultimates up, Rocket's coming through. I imagine with the ultimates up this time, Grubs will not be so easy for TD Harmony, or for Contingent. Now, they've been doing really well in fights. I just wonder if they know the tempo isn't as free as it looks. You know, you don't feel 500 gold behind, but Frost has so much gold right now. If he gets ulted by Lissandra, though, I think that was an E forward. Now, Bubbles needs to be careful, too, because now Amumu is here with ultimate. Doesn't use it yet because it's only driving. Now it goes down. Frost only ults 1 is just the one he needs, though. Exhaust on Bubbles. She flashes out, still gets knocked up, though. And I think they're fine with that because even though, I mean, Gnar is winning this 1v1 maybe, but it's not going to be a 1v1 for long. Third hit will give him Mega Gnar. Atomic looking for the stun, misses. He can't get Mega Gnar yet though, and now he's dead. Frost is also going to get the Rakan. And again, Bubbles also caught, has no flash, has no ultimate, trying to E out the tower is not going to be protecting you whenever a Yone is coming at you with full health. And this Yone is a problem, and I just don't think Contingent, were aware of how this tempo was swinging with this fed Yone.
Yeah, including we were talking about this based on in draft, saying like we wonder how Bubbles is gonna play into these AD matchups, and I think this is really showing where like lack of experience is coming into, because playing mages this whole season, you know, and you're not used to it, like it'll really show in these games where Yone is really showing. Frost is doing a great job at getting CS, getting now 5 kills, and rotating to objectives on time in a good manner.
I also think it's just like putting the blinders on as a team sometimes. You make a play bot and it goes poorly, their Yone gets fed. But as Lissandra, like, I didn't die to Yone. It's fine, I'll be fine. But then a Mumu ult, Yone ult, and all this damage comes through and you're like, wait, when did Yone get 5 kills?
Exactly.
It's just unfortunate that you win every fight up to that, and you think it's going to continue, except for that one pesky fight where Yone happened to get 3 kills, and now he is unstoppable. Dragon getting a little bit caught here, but Yone has to go back, so I don't think he'll die. It's close, though. Bubbles does find Frost, but Frost didn't really use anything. Ultimate from Lissandra comes out. Rakan's got some CC, but Frost is 1 Q away from knocking up Lissandra. This E has got to be important. Misses the root. Bubbles is in so much trouble right now. No flash. Here comes the E. I believe the E damage is enough. The Q damage is enough. And this Yone will carry the game if something doesn't change.
Yeah, I totally agree. Frost is really carrying this game right now, really taking point, being like, hey, I got this team, you know. Basically just, I really enjoy that their team is also playing around him, because they realize, hey, we have a 6-0 Yone. Enemy team can't really do much into that right now, so let's play around him. And that's exactly what they're doing, and that's what they need to do.
Yeah, and Contingent need to realize that they are on the opposite side of the matchup they were a few minutes. Oh, I think this 1v1 turns into something as because Shantae ult comes in. Flash out, but the damage still comes in from the auto, and that's a solo kill. Which is really bad for Contingent, because this is the one matchup that they were really feeling good about. Jarvan comes in, though, and there's no tools for Cassante. So it will be a trade back. Another flash into death, unfortunately, for Complex. Yeah,
I mean,
Atomic
1 for 1, not a terrible
support battle.
Way. Frost, though. Frost just playing so aggressive now just because he can. Bubbles really trying just to farm, you know, like, oh.
Yeah, this is a full all-in. Bubbles has ultimate, but you've got to stay still while you're healing, and I just don't think it's enough health. Amuba's here just to watch, but he doesn't need to help because Frost has got the solo kill.
Yeah, I think now with how far, I will say the gold difference in mid. Yeah, there's almost a 3,000 gold difference compared to Frost and Bubbles, and that's pretty much a whole item. And so, including with Yone and how mobile he can be, I think Bubbles, she needs to be a little bit more careful now playing into this laning phase, and like needs to respect how strong Yone is.
I think it's a hard transition to go from getting every objective to just being like, you know what, Frost, take whatever turret you want, you got it.
I totally agree, yeah.
And Contingent just haven't made that transition, but once they realize they need to give up every fight, they'll be in an okay spot. They've got the first 2 dragons, they've only given up 3 grubs. You know, yes, this Yone will scale pretty well, but if you just let yourself be on the defensive for a little bit, give up dragons, they've still got 4 to go before Soul.
Yeah.
And you still got a Jinx for that late game composition. He was doing fine. So
yeah, I agree. Contingent's still in a great spot just because they got those 2 streaks early.
I don't know that this turns into anything, but I'm always wondering with top laners.
Two meaty boys, you know, sometimes they're just each other, sometimes it ends in a death, you never know. It looks like Nar is just gonna go back to mini Nar and maybe nothing will happen. We'll see in a few minutes here if anything comes out of it. But I agree, Contingent's still in a good spot. Yone is fed, but like again, they have feats, they have 3 grubs, they have the first 2 drakes, they have so many more objectives, and they can just farm and maybe look to get picks on these people. Like, cause I 100% like I think that they can shut down this Yone, but they need the material and they need to catch him by himself.
Yeah, it's just hard to catch him by himself whenever there's an Amumu and a Taric that can move all the time. And this is catching the wrong person by himself. Rakan's not going to be the one to start this fight. Luckily, He's also not gonna die. I mean, it's just Rakan. But I'm wondering if these wards are even... Oh, Dragon is also looking for a ward. I think they just honestly want to be on the opposite side of the map. You know, you can give a token ward to see where the enemy jungler is, but committing this many people to the side of the map where Amumu Yon is really scary. Because if King Vivi finds this Q... No, just Rakan. He's safe, always. But, like, what are they going to do other than watch this Rift Herald die?
Yeah, there's really not much they can do. I mean, they could go for the steal. I don't think it's worth it, though, because there's a chance that you might not even get the steal, and if you go in by yourself,
They're gonna go for
you're
pass
definitely gonna
play.
steal.
But
Dragon might actually look for the steal here. I think he wants to.
The problem is if you steal Rift Herald, I'm not sure what it changes, because you're not going to pick up the eye. And now he's just caught into the Yone, who has a free get out of jail card, but he just wants to go in. Yone ult is still available. Finds two. Lissandra ults the other person, so Yone is still going off. Is now invincible. Meanwhile, on this side of the fight, at least Star's picking up something. Neon finds Yone, though. This would be a huge shutdown. This is everything they wanted. Lissandra gets it, but that still is a ton of gold, and Dion is excited. Is also still kidding complex, and it looks like Frost just bit off a bit more than he could chew because there's just so much CC and they didn't have Varus in the fight. They didn't track that Neon was moving.
Yeah, even though that was a 3-2 fight, like, in terms of deaths, Neon got that, how much shutdown gold? 490. Oh, actually, Lissandra, sorry. Bubbles got that shutdown on Yona, and that's gonna be a really good gold difference, like, getting back into this game. So I think that's a really good shutdown. He just went a little too far with what you're saying, and I think that was a really good fight that they needed for Contingent.
It was a classic Yone moment where it's not even really the Yone's fault. Yone goes in with E, gets a little bit CC'd, it looks a little scary, and King Vivi's like, go, 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 go. Goes over the wall. I mean, I think it was good, because Yone ult still got a lot. I think they potentially could have turned it to a point where it worked out. But it did feel like both members were on different pages of how deep they wanted to go. And King Vivi is a sub. It was important to note, just for game 1.
Right, because Mr. Korean man is only coming, Toxin's only coming for game 2 and 3, I believe.
Okay, now they're trying to make a pass play in Cassante. I just don't know that they can ever catch him because he's got so many dashes, so many vulnerabilities, and now Amumu and Taric is here. You know, Frost able to hold off the bot side entirely by himself, doesn't care who shows up, he will kill them.
Yeah, I think Frost is just in a really good position now just to split push. At least right now.
Urameshi gets stunned up and there's more CC coming. Rakan going to ult to try to disengage this. Actually, maybe it's an engage because Neon Sword is here. Rocket just to burst all 3 of them. The root hits everyone. King Vivi has to flash out. The teleport comes in from Bubbles, who's able to CC down the Cassante. This is right next to the Otacon as well. Atomic will go down. Yone, I don't know that he wants to come here. And this could be huge because Otacon, even if it's just the GA1, could secure them either third dragon or, I mean, any number of things. This is a huge objective to find a pick by.
Is this for Voracious Otacon? He's looking a little bit yellow.
It's the GA1. You can tell by the big circle around him instead of the small circle around him, I guess.
Oh, okay.
The attack is slightly different.
Right,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
And so they will get GAs and extra gold on kills, which is super important because Jinx getting any amount of gold is big. Now, on the other side, Frost and... Oh, just getting damage in any way you can. You're not going to be under pressure anyways. I mean, these inhibitor towers are taking damage. And that is a clock that doesn't rely on soul. Right, but King Vivi is kind of committed for it. No flash. They do have to teleport because of that. And I think that Contingent is totally happy with that. You take my mid inhib, sure, but you have to blow teleport while we have GAs and Dragon is spawning.
Yeah, I think this GA is gonna be really good
pick right here. Amumu in a sweat bush. Urameshi blocks it with the Q, but they're still all face checking. Cleanse comes out, it doesn't matter. Yone ult will do the damage through it. Now it is just withdrawings, but they got so much gold off of those GAs anyways, and they're going to get the dragon as well. It's just unfortunate that yes, you have your tank check the bush with Q, but maybe be a little bit further behind that boomerang, especially with the Jinx.
Amazing engaged by King Vivi, followed up by the rest of his team. They've said like, hey, they might have these GAs, but who has GAs if you just you just get a massive ult like that? And that's exactly what they did.
Now, because of those GAs, they don't get the mid inhib afterwards, at least, but they do get the dragon.
Yeah, it's still not a good spot for Contingent because they wanted they had the priority with these GAs to get that Drake to get their soul point. to be on soul point, sorry. And just unfortunately, yeah, they didn't expect the cheese, the bush cheese, and it worked well for TDH. So really well played to them.
Yeah, I do think that having GA kind of makes you feel a little self-important. Like,
Unstoppable.
I can face check. Like, what's gonna happen? That's what's gonna happen. You're gonna get all wiped. And sure, you come back up immediately, but by the time you do, Dragon is gone.
Yeah, I was also thinking like they may top lane
Another
here.
pass play here, but Atomic is available immediately, and they can't really commit here because the Mumu will also come. Meanwhile, mid lane, we've got the 2 carries coming up, pushing in for TD Harmony, and I don't know what answers this, because now they just get to move up to topside for free. This is the only Arbiter you have, and I'm a little bit worried.
I think we're gonna see a dive here.
Yeah, because you can't protect this tower, but Frost is engaged on early. The Jarvan ult also finds that there's just no Jinx yet. Lissandra's coming, Frost gets the Q3 out, and it looks like they prevented the dive by going aggressive on the Yone, the one person they could. Amumu misses the Q, and I think this fight is oh wait, Amumu in gets an entire ultimate, but now Jinx has arrived, is queuing so many people. Yone will burst them down first, though. The Dark ult is massive under tower. Jinx is hitting everyone. Yone finally gets on top of her. She gets to move so fast, still can't dodge Q3, though. Kidicus, low, Bubbles, has no cooldowns yet. Here comes the Q, here comes the W, and that root on the tower is pretty nice. There's no minions coming as well, so the dive will stop here. I do believe Contingent made what was going to be a disaster into just a lot of gold exchange, though. Because if they did not find Frost at the beginning of that fight before Jinx was there, they would have had a 5v3 situation in a tower where Yone would have killed absolutely everyone.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Contingent really turned that fight around. I solely thought that was just going to be a complete wipe on Contingent's half, but, you know, they're really showing the comp of how, like, the moment Jinx gets a reset, how strong that their team comp can be, and that's exactly what happened, and I think they played that very well.
Yeah, and it kind of shows what happens whenever you go for these pass plays by Yone. He wanted to make the dive happen, so he says, I'm going to start any fight ever, but there's so much CC. If Yone's up front by himself, it doesn't matter if it's a 3v5. He can't start the fight if he's at half health or chunked or CC'd.
Right.
Meanwhile, word fight over here.
Just smacking or meshy.
Maybe Atomic should have the grasp. Either way. We can take a breath now. I mean, this turret has lasted so long. It's very low in health. I don't think they're going to try to defend it again after what happened. Actually, this is kind of interesting. Rakan's making a similar play, but there's no one else. Has to flash out, has to ult, and these are huge cooldowns. Honestly, TD Harmony can kind of start what they want. It might just be top tower. They could get a little frisky and start Baron. I don't know if they want to do that, though. Even without Rakan ult, that's a little scary. King Vivi kind of says I want more than the first tower.
I think they're just in the position right now to split push, but although I do think Fresh should go either bot or mid. I guess he is pressuring mid now, which is pretty good, but now that Frost is mid, TDH do gotta be careful because that's where all their gold is, sitting on Frost, and you do not want to start a fight without him.
So
there's a 7k gold lead, almost 8,000 gold lead.
Yeah,
almost.
Now that gold lead will dwindle as the Autocon buff gives everyone gold for takedowns and these trades keep happening. And of course, as items come in, I mean, Jinx has got 2 items. Jinx's 2 items are a little bit stronger than on-hit Varus' 2 items, in my opinion.
Hold on, Varus has Hullbreaker.
Yeah, I did notice that. I don't remember if that's meta or not. I know Hullbreaker has been a little... Wait, they do start the Baron, but Rakan ult is not long from being up. The wards come out, so they know this is happening. Frost does find Rakan, though, who has no flash. But now he's committed, and Bubbles finds everything. The ult comes in. Atomic now has committed an ult, and it only hits Tarek. Amumu ults everyone, but there's no follow-up. YOLO! Jinx is so free hitting right now. Exhaust comes out. Jinx does not be stopped. Kidicus also trying to pull out damage, but again, Jinx 2 items greater than Varus 2 items. Varus getting hit by 2 tanks right now. He can't do anything. It looks like Asante was able to also kill Jinx, but now the 3v1 is a little hard for him. And suddenly, Contingent Esports gets an ace with 3 members surviving. They don't want to Baron, they just want to go for Dragon Soul Point. But that is pretty good.
Amazing fight for Contingent. Getting the pick on Yone, and then, fortunately, Atomic tried saving him with ult. Ulted himself and Frost, and then didn't have ult for the rest of his team. So it was just Like, unfortunate timing for TDH, but amazing play by Contingent. I think they're in the runner's seat now, including with how these fights are going.
Yeah, now they've gotten the gold lead to only 4K, plus they've got these 3 dragons, and a Jinx at this point is going to be massive regardless of the deficit. I think she has more gold than Varus too. Let me just double check. Nope, that team gold lead is quite massive, but still, I think Jinx down 2K is still good enough at this point in the game.
Yeah, it's not a terrible spot to be in, but yeah, I want to go back to the Hullbreaker. I know ADC's been building Hullbreaker, but is that really? I don't know if that's what you build on Varus. Like, other ADCs, sure, but I don't think that's what you go on Varus. I mean, I could be wrong. I haven't
It
played
is
ADC this
interesting
meta.
because we saw basically 2 splintered team fights where Varus was on 2 tanks and Jinx was on 1 tank, and the 1 tank killed Jinx, which was really funny to me because
Yeah.
Santi moment. Now that might have only happened because Atomic had to commit some gross cooldowns to try to protect Frost, which didn't work out. But if these team fights end up working like that, I mean, I feel like Jinx does better in that kind of situation.
Yeah.
And with the Varus build, I mean, I think Guizu's Terminus does work well against tanks, so maybe it's the right build for the moment. I'm not an expert on when Hullbreaker is better. This Giant's belt is also kind of interesting, just trying to stay alive to deal damage. I'm just not sure if it matters if Jinx gets resets.
I don't know. I'm assuming that's Jack Show, what he's building next. I can't see what else he would build that into, but when these team fights happen, I still think TDH have like a really good chance of like turning these fights into like their favor. I think it's just Frost needs to stop getting caught and wait for his team. Because if he
Right,
gets
'cause-
caught early or ults in too early and he dies before his team gets there, the play's over.
Right, because a Mumu ult on Jinx without cleanse will absolutely mean her death if Frost is available. And
Yeah.
you don't have to be hyper aggressively positioned as Yone to do that. You can E flash R and you will find that Jinx, I promise you. But these fights are gonna be, I mean, they don't have many tries left at it, right? They lose the next fight in a few minutes and that's full.
Yeah, looks like
Rakan
Flock
finding
found.
Complex again. And I think this won't turn into anything because Cassante has a lot of tools to get out. But it's always interesting with Rakan Lysandra. Just one misposition where you feel safe and suddenly you're very dead.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, like with the pick comp potential that
Oh,
Contingent
meanwhile,
have.
Yone finds Gnar here, and that Gnar is not very tanky, and Miniform has to flash out of the ult. It will be one less important cooldown for that next team fight.
Yeah, looks like Baron's still up. We have Dragon up in 2 minutes 20. It's Soul for Contingent, Soul Point for TDH. So I wonder how these fights are gonna play out, if they're gonna like want to prio Baron side or Dragon side.
Kaz is just constantly harassing Cassante. It's very funny to me. Like, you better watch out. You don't have your support here. We might kill you. Frost, meanwhile, controlling the bot wave and the bot jungle all by himself. Not as
Yeah,
worried
he's
about
kinda
getting caught
too,
out.
he can.
Yeah, he can only not get caught out whenever everyone's there, but if it's
Exactly.
just Jarvan Lysandra, he'll be fine.
I think having him in the side lane is fine. There's no one that can really 1v1 him at this point. If they send multiple I do really want Frost to stay bot because if multiple do have to be sent to kill Frost, then his team can just take Baron, and Frost still has the TP up. So if a fight
Oh.
does break out, he still has the TP.
I don't know if King Vivi's the one they want to engage on, but they have found him. He has to
Frost?
flash out the huge cooldown. Frost has finished it, but he does have TP. I think he has item in base is why he did that. King Vivi is looking for any kind of moment, but he just might die before he gets an ult off. A 4-man ult doesn't matter if your team's just not there. With that down, they are going to turn onto the Baron, but Yone holding Baron pick could be good enough to make up for the deficit, but he's going for mid inhib. He just wants to give the Baron Complex, trying to find the fight. The longer this takes, the more Frost can do more damage. Complex looking for his tower, gets exhausted. They don't care about the tower, dragging it out, tanking it for now. Now it is Urameshi and Mini tanking it. Frost trying to 2v1, getting this inhib. They will get that inhib, and you haven't answered with the Baron. So I'm not sure this play actually ends up working out for Contingent despite them getting the pick.
I'm really surprised they went on Complex there because Cassante, he's a tank. He's like a juggernaut. Like, I don't like, I honestly, like, he's the person that protects the president is what I call him sometimes because he's just
Yeah.
so tanky. I think they just should have gone for the Baron. They got the pick on a Mumu. They have no contest for, like, getting, like, a smite fight going on, right? And they just completely lost that pick, and I think Frost misplayed, but I think Contention as a whole, not taking Baron there, was an even bigger misplay. Drake is
Yeah,
up
I
now
think
in
it-
10 seconds. Oh, sorry.
They knew the textbook if you get jungle pick, you can go for Baron and start the team fight afterwards whenever they're forced to come. But meanwhile, King Vivi has no ultimate yet. It's up soon. If he dies before it happens, though, he has no ultimate yet. It goes down. Taric ult is coming in a little late. It doesn't find many people. Frost has not gotten it. Dragging it out. Has to EQ out. Jinx is only free hitting on one person. Not excited yet. Kiddicus, meanwhile, doing a lot of damage to Nar and Lissandra. They got the pick on a Mumu again, but their health bars are too low to make use of it. And I think that will be TD Harmony looking for a punish. Dragon uses E, has no dash now. Frost looking, but has to dash back. Doesn't matter though, he gets to kill Lissandra. Bubbles just not realizing how much burst is available. And that means we're going to be at a 6-dragon game.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the start of this game, I think I knew it was going to go to 6 dragons, just because, like, Contingent getting the 2 kills, and Frost getting all those kills early, and then securing the next 3 drakes.
Oh, Frost finds Dragon. This means that there's no chance of a smite steal, because Dragon and out is Dragon out of here. And that means Mumu can just come in and freely smite. Worry about a little bit about Jinx ult, but they have no vision. I mean, it would be very funny if Jinx ult stole this, but Mumu's here.
Shouldn't be possible.
Yeah. And now they can look at the Baron because of that delayed jungle kill as well. Teleport coming out just to get top prio. Jinx can't really walk up here. And Baron will be started soon.
Yeah, although Contingent have been doing really well in these fights, I want to take a look at, like, the tower difference. They only have 1 tower down compared to TDH's 6, and they have inhib down mid lane. So, in terms of, like, the map priority, TDH is doing a... Oh, no.
Oh, Frost finds Neon, and this is where you don't want your Jinx to be. She has to flash out. That will be Baron secured. And Jinx, unfortunately... Oh, Fox also... I mean, it's for Khan, so he's probably fine. But this is unfortunate whenever you use your Jinx flash for a Baron you were never stealing.
Yeah, that is a long 5 minutes, and Frost is going to abuse that in these next fights, because Jinx is, again, what we were saying earlier in the draft, very immobile champ. You have cleanse, but that doesn't, you can't really cleanse a Yone ult, so now that your flash is gone, good luck, is what I'll have to say in the next 5 minutes. She has to just position very well, and just know where Frost is at all points, as well as the Amumu, and then I think she'll be okay.
Yeah, and I do like one thing about Frost's build. We were criticizing him for getting constantly caught out and just bursted down. Now he has a GA.
Now, yeah.
Yeah, and he hasn't even had to use it, just the defensive stats alone, and maybe a little update in this play, and suddenly he is a threat that cannot be stopped again.
Right.
Oh, I don't know that Neon can hold this tower. I mean, this is Baron minions coming up. They don't have the dive potential without Frost here, but it's a little scary to be up here once this tower goes down.
It's just a tier 2. I think they can give it. I think they can maybe hold this inhib tower. They have, like...
looking a little aggressive, but doesn't have Mega Gnar yet, so it's just about if King Vivi lands a Q, comes in with the blast plant, but doesn't want to commit. Definitely scared everyone.
Tactic, yeah.
Yeah, and that means the turret will go down because they were running away, and that will be their second inhib. Mega Gnar's available, but I don't know that they want the fight.
Bleeding out. Oh.
Okay, Mega Gnar comes in, only finds Taric. Maybe that's enough. Taric ult will help his entire team, though. Kiddicus hitting for free, and Mumu finds Jinx, who has no flash. Meanwhile, on the backside, Yone and Varus are just cleaning up everything. You said it was about kill the Jinx. Jinx did not matter at all in that fight, and that means TD Harmony, with their sub-jungle, will take game 1.
That was a really action-packed game, and this is the games that I love, because who wants to cast a normal, like a quick 20-minute game where it's heavily one-sided? This game went back and forth so often, and that was just a really good match. And then, yeah, TDH just came out on top of that match.
And yeah, it felt like both teams definitely had options to win at different times. Just like 1 or 2 mistakes you can look back in the VOD and be like, you know, if we just made this decision a little bit better, made this decision a little bit better, especially around that Baron play.
Right.
I think TD Harmony were unaware of, like, they knew they wanted the fight, but that changes whenever Frost just goes for the mid inhib. You can't really find a fight on Cassandra.
I do think that Baron fight, like the first one where King Vivi got caught, I think that's where Contingent lost like their lead because they got the
Mhm.
pick on Vivi, that's their jungler down, and instead of taking Baron, which they did start, but then they got off to try killing Complex, which is a tank. I think that was a big misplay for them. They did a great job catching Vivi, but then they didn't take the Baron with it, and so they lost like their whole lead with it.
Yeah, I think they read the start of the textbook, which is you get a pick,
Yeah.
you start Baron, you start a team fight, but they didn't see that Frost had cheated a little bit and went down mid lane, and so no team fight was going to be had.
Yeah.
And you have a clock about getting that Baron. Usually whenever you start Baron up a member, you can take your time with it as long as you finish it before the jungler gets there. But Frost was just mid lane.
All right, looks
Uh,
like yeah, Contingent's taking blue side here.
I think
They're
they've
gonna
made
change it
another
up.
choice that's kind of interesting. I don't see Toxin yet, but I do see King Vivi
Oh,
within
maybe he's not here for
the.
game 2.
Yeah, or maybe they just saw that Amumu and said, you know what, let's just do more of that. That worked.
Yeah, I think the Amumu pick was really good. Just obviously some people like King Vivi just needs to be a little bit more careful, I think, when he's going out and trying to ward because you don't want to you want to pair Amumu ult with the Yone ult. And there were some really good fights where they did that, but I think just need a little bit more careful where his ult's going off too early before his team can get there. But
So it really is a question of what you change in the draft as well. It feels like giving mid counter pick has not worked out. Unfortunately, you might have to put different bans in against that mid. We talked about a lot of mid bans going through, but maybe one of them should be Yone, because if you can get counter
yeah.
pick and still lose the 1v1 in isolation like that and have that roam timer happen, I just feel like draft has to be a little bit different than despite giving everything like that.
I totally agree. Should probably get yeah. All right. So I forgot what I was gonna say now. But
It's
yeah, no, oh
okay.
yeah, 80
Either way,
minutes.
draft.
Yeah, but yeah, I have the draft.
Either
Oh,
way.
sorry. I need to drop
Oh,
down
yeah.
the spectator before I was gonna say what I was gonna say. All right. Okay. I think with last draft we were talking about how bubbles may not like have a bit disadvantage when it's coming to those 80 matchups, and I agree. I think they should ban Leon. Or maybe pick something a little bit safer, or maybe something that's more comfortable for Bubbles. Well, they did like what 4 ban her, so a lot of her comfort picks were already banned. So hopefully, maybe she'll get first rotation picked because I think leaving like your strongest player to last pick, I don't think that's a good idea, including if like their champ pools aren't super large, including into the 80 matchups. So maybe we'll see a first
Absolutely.
pick mid lane here, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I expect both the bans and the picks to be different. And kind of interested in what King Vivi picks as well, because again, I don't think he planned to be here for game 2, but here he is.
Yeah, well, it's not fearless. Could easily pick a Mumu again. I
Hmm.
do think Yone's gonna be banned though. I think if anything's different, it's gonna be the Yone. Looks like draft's running up here in a second.
Yeah, so as a reminder, what was banned last time for Contingent?
Who did Contender ban or who was banned against Contingent?
Oh, Contingent banned Smolder, Victor, and Senna, and I
Yeah.
don't know that you're gonna see the Senna ban. Maybe is what they drop. Actually, they just immediately ban a
Yeah.
Mumu, so King VV has got to find something else. Oh,
Who else
sorry, I
banned?
think it was the other side,
No
right? Of
way, they
course.
surely they change up the bans, right? Surely we see like a Yone here. Or like a Tarek, because that Tarek negated a lot of damage as well. Like Asante was an issue. Maybe we
Yeah,
see
I
something.
I don't think the Senna ban's gonna come through.
I don't
Feeling
think it
tells me.
should.
And I think the one thing you change is the Yone. I do like the TD Harmony. We're the ones that ban. Yeah, there's the Yone
Yeah,
ban.
there it
We're the
is.
ones that
Yeah.
banned a Mumu. They didn't want to see Blue One pick Mumu.
Yeah.
This does mean that I believe Misfortune will be available, or unless they ban it and leave Ari available, and both of those could be really good first picks.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see one or the other. If one's banned, the other's gonna be picked. Because again, both really strong mid laners. Yeah, I really just hope they first rotation pick Bubbles here because you don't want to see her get banned. Oh,
Both
J4
are
ban.
available, and I think Bubbles is going to get a prime first pick and hope that, given the counter matchup to Frost doesn't work out for him just like it didn't work out for her in game 1.
Yeah. Or if Frost doesn't play and the champ she does, they could easily be B2 or B3 her. I just don't think leaving her to B4 or B5 is a good idea. I think stealing MF is good. Um, oh, looks like
It'll be the
they're
Jinx
not
lock-in.
changing it up.
Yeah,
Just keeping it on
Neon
green.
did fine on Jinx. The
Yeah.
laning phase went okay until Yon visited for fun.
Yeah. Got a
But Neon
double
was doing
kill.
fine. Like the early levels looked really good in a way that Jinx usually doesn't. So changing the bot lane, I mean, I don't think you have to.
Yeah,
It
it was a
really is
solid
about
pick.
the top side of the map.
Yeah. See what they respond into this. MF is still on the table. MF could be picked here. I think MF is a good champ overall. Caitlyn.
Oh, just going for the lane dominance, saying Neon does not get to have a free laning phase this time. And I appreciate that because I feel like mid lane's going to look different. So if you make bot lane also look different, maybe TD Harmony can still end up on the upper
Yeah.
side of the rift.
Caitlyn's definitely a big lane bully. If she doesn't get ahead early though, then she's not as strong as Jinx will be in like the mid to late game fights. So we'll see if like maybe that she'll get pried a little bit more. Skarner.
Yeah,
I
Skarner
want to
has
see if this
been
is a flex real quick.
Skarner has been really high priority in pro play, and it works all really nicely into the Jinx. It's another kind of a Mumu-like champion where your ultimate is very easy and very game-changing. So it doesn't surprise me that the sub of King VV said, just give me another R button champion tank. I'll just do it again. Volibear Ari. I like the Ari, as we said, picking bubbles, that early blind pickable mage. Makes a lot of sense. The Volibear, though, is an interesting blind pick. You're picking both of your solo lanes blind, which I feel like is a
Could be
relatively new
volley
thing
jungle.
that's happened this season. Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I feel like I've only seen Volibear top lane, but obviously could be jungle. Way
Yeah.
into Ari feels like a nice one for Frost. It's a completely different matchup, obviously. It's a little hard to go from Yon to Hui in one game's time, but you know, if you can pull off both those champions, they do great things.
Yeah, I think that matchup is fine for Ari. I think like honestly that's probably like one of the better matchups. It's
Yeah,
just like a two neutral lanes.
TD Harmony also believe that it's Volley Jungle. They're still going to ban Malphite, which makes sense because there's not going to be a lot of AD damage that could kill a tank from Caitlyn coming out. It would basically be all on Hui, and while he does have some AoE, Malphite could definitely give them both some trouble.
Yeah, I'm really liking it looks like both teams are going for very different team comps compared to last game, so it looks like we're getting a little bit different action with different champs. We're seeing the Ambessa ban come out. This last ban, I'm assuming it's gonna be like I think they should ban like maybe like a support here, something that would pair well with the Jinx and maybe like go negatively against the Caitlyn. But you never
Yeah,
know.
you know, with how they played it last time, I wouldn't hate banning the Rakan. It's obviously not
Mm-hmm.
amazing in lane against Caitlyn, but it would answer your Skarner
Rumble.
pretty well. Looks like the Rumble ban will come out, so they're a little bit more worried about top lane. And I think another top laner is going to be banned by Contingent, because I don't think they're as worried about the support pick that will likely be blind.
Yeah. Because yeah, I don't think TDH needed to ban two top laners, or maybe because they're already getting the counter pick, but maybe there's just something that they really hate or they don't have something into. Maybe that's why they banned the two top laners. We're gonna see the Mord ban come out. Mord's a pretty good champ. Pretty solid. Makes
Sometimes
sense.
it's just something that junglers do. Like, sorry, top lane, I'm going to be around my Caitlyn in a way. They're much more important, so I'll at least throw you two bans. Because
Yeah, that's
you're not
fair.
getting anything else. You can have counter pick and two bans, and then we'll see you later. Actually, he's
Yeah.
not getting counter pick because Sante pick. They're saving this counter pick for flexing. I mean, not flexing. I don't think either
Support.
Skarner or Hurway could support, but yeah, the support pick. But
You
at the
know
same
what?
time,
Sorry, it could be a way mid, like a support mid flex. I don't know if
mhm,
the support plays it. I don't know if Atomic plays it, but you know, it's possible. Could be Hwei
Nautilus
support.
picked, which is interesting. I feel like Nautilus Jinx can definitely pop off, but
Yeah,
depending on what TDH, I mean, imagine it's Caitlyn Hui down there. If they don't get hit by Q, Jinx cannot play the game. Um,
yeah.
and even if
And
they,
one
I mean, Hui
EQ from
has,
Hwei,
mm-hmm.
it's over.
It's a really all-in pick, and it really says junglers are both going to be bot lane, I think, because Nautilus is definitely looking to engage some fights.
Well, if you're not ganking this, Caitlyn, you're throwing a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And then Trundle
Trundle.
pick, which is still flex. which makes
It's
it
a
a
good split
little bit
pusher.
harder. I believe it should be Trundle top lane of these
Yeah,
two, but
I
again,
think
it could be Flex. But the support and or mid pick here is really interesting. I think it's going to be a support. I mean, Caitlyn Hui, it's one of the lanes where Hui support could actually make sense because you are just looking to
Yeah.
poke out. You're not worried about
It's a
anything
great lane.
else. It's like the 180 carry that I'd be like, yeah, we can probably run Hui support here. But it looks like it's going to be Rel, which is probably for the team fight because I think they kind of took away a lot of their lane's power for that.
Yeah, honestly, I really wanted to be Hui support. I just wanted to see
Yeah,
like
Rel mid.
I wanted to see Frost like no. I wanted to see like Frost whip out like another AD mid and Bubbles was like, oh damn. I got baited, but no. I think either the Hui Ari matchup is still good and then
Oh, yeah.
Rel, but yeah. Rel support.
Yeah, we
How do
have
you
to talk
think this
about
game's
this
gonna
because it's
go?
completely different. I mean,
Yeah.
the laning phase, I don't know that it goes differently for TDH. Caitlyn absolutely is a lane bully, and Rel can make
Yeah.
it work. But with the Nautilus, I feel like there was a clear incentive to go with some kind of CC heavy, poke heavy champion. Rel still will deny a lot of engages, will be really good in team fights. But you didn't pick Caitlyn to be playing your bot lane for team fights, so I don't know. Maybe Caitlyn Rel is better than I give it credit for. It definitely can still make Jinx unable to play the game. I just felt like there was a much clearer avenue to do that.
Yeah. I still think, yeah, I think Caitlyn, again, she just has so much range compared to Jinx. I think she's just gonna, like, as long as she's, like, positioning well and, like, playing around her, like, attack range, I think that she's just gonna, like, bully Jinx out of lane. But, again, if they don't gank, this Caitlyn early and she falls behind, she's gonna be very weak in the mid to late game compared to this Jinx.
Right, and if Caitlyn falls behind, then all of your damage is just sway.
Yeah.
And that's kind of problematic into Trundle Volibear Nautilus. Like,
Alright,
the
it's
I,
also... Sorry, you go.
I was just gonna say, like, last time TV Harmony, the Varus, it had a big job, it had a big role to fill for sure, but there was still the Yone to fall back on, the Cassante to fall back on. This time I feel like this Caitlyn kind of dictates the pace of the game.
Yeah. I was just gonna say it is confirmed Trundle is going top, so it is Volibear jungle. I think that's pretty standard. But yeah, I expect both teams here to path bot. Trundle, I feel like is gonna be a big issue in the side lane. I don't know who wins the 1v1 against Cassante and Trundle late game, but either way, if this Trundle goes uncontested, he's just gonna eat these towers like like they're
I mean,
his
I'll be
dinner.
real. I think, honestly, Skarner could just 3-camp full degen into gank bot lane.
Yeah.
If Contingent isn't ready for it, that lane will be over. Because you got Rel Skarner coming in, it doesn't matter that he's taking up tempo. That Jinx cannot play the game
I want to see
once
the
that first game
invade.
comes in.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah, you've got Nautilus, so both teams know that they probably want to be very aware of the level 1. But I don't know. There's so many options for TD Harmony because they've picked this role, but they've got to utilize them because it doesn't win in isolation, I think, or it doesn't do as well in isolation as they would want. Either way, we're gonna
see an invade. I want to see a fight before, like a level 1 fight. I just want to see it.
I mean, we saw that last time with Jinx Rakan of all things. So both teams are probably looking for it. Either way, we're gonna have to see what happens level 1 after a quick delay. One quick break, and then we will be back for game 2.
I never see the lights out. They get me overdrive. Fancy on a fast car. This is how you make me feel. Don't stress me now. I got the overdose. I'm feeling it in my bones. And if you say that I'm lying to you, these habits are killing me. I wish I could fall asleep. The problem is you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to game 2 of Contingent versus TD Harmony. And unfortunately, even losing all this, everyone's at their assigned posts. We've got a 5-point start.
Invade. I'm sad.
But I'm pretty sure Skarner starts Wolves, okay? We can still see some excitement pretty early. Actually, Nautilus kind of in an interesting spot because I believe the jugglers see each other.
Please flash Q on him, please. I want
I don't think that works. It's still just
I want to
Skarner.
see it.
I don't think that happens, but he definitely thought about it.
I'm bloodthirsty.
I'm telling you, I think Skarner starts Wolves. We'll see though. I think
For the
that
3
is-
camp into bot? Oh, it looks
Yeah.
like it might be.
because there's no way you're pathing towards top lane, right? I guess you do see Urameshi with Lethal Temple Trundle.
With no flash. Neither top laners have flash, so always could
Okay,
be
but he's not
pathing
in
up
Wolf's
into
spot
that.
yet. He's guarding blue, but he's actually going towards that, what I just said he wouldn't be. Also, this level 1's kind of interesting because, I mean, it's not that
Oh.
interesting. Just a nice little ward. That's a huge
Just a
poke,
poke?
though.
Yeah.
And I feel like getting level 2 early as Jinx Nautilus is so good in this lane. You know, Caitlyn's a lane bully, but not if she gets poked out like that and can't hit level 2 first.
Yeah, and if you're allowing Nautilus to walk up like this, Atomic needs to, like, assert some dominance in this bush. Like, he needs to take... I mean, you can't now, but I think he needed to go there right away and make sure that they had bush prio. But I
King
think...
started blue, so he's not coming down here for a while. And it would have been a really good level 3 gank, by the way.
I feel, yeah, I mean, I don't think so, because
level 2
Contingent got that
rush?
ward.
That's true. Meanwhile, Urameshi getting an early lead, and this is why Skarner might want to path towards top lane. I mean, I get it. Look at this aggression from Trundle. And it's not going to stop anytime soon.
Yeah. I still think pathing away from your Caitlyn that you should be getting ahead early is a mistake, but you know, you never know. Like these lower elos, no flame. It's just these games can be played so much
Wait,
differently, and like they really show.
Dragon and
Wait,
Out is splitting the map. And because that word is on Raptors, I believe King Vivi might know soon, or he just assumes he's way ahead.
wait, what's going
Interesting.
on?
Raptor camp has been taken.
Oh,
King Vivi's
I think
about to
he
find
knows
out the
now.
bad news. But Trundle has pressure here. Oh,
He
it's
should be
interesting.
calling to Frost right now. Hey, I think they're in my jungle.
Right, Dragon and Out and King Vivi fight right now. Who gets a smite though? It's gonna be King Vivi. That is a huge deal with the red buff ticking, but Urameshi and Arya are the first ones here. But I don't think Skarner's in trouble. Meanwhile, the 2v2 down bot lane, level 3, reach for the side of Kitticus and Atomic. Going back to the top side, though, real quick. Going back to... Okay, something's happening for sure. Somewhere, the camera can't figure it out. It looks like Kitticus has gotten some pressure back, though, with the wave, at least. And Caitlyn can kind of do her job knowing both junglers are not coming. Rel getting a nice engage on Nautilus into the trap. Kaz is going to be a non-factor in this lane for quite a while.
Yeah, this is how the lane I thought was gonna go. Once they hit level 3, I think Caitlyn's just gonna bully them out a little bit as long as she's positioning properly, and that's exactly how it is. I will say, though, there might be some contesting for this scuttle here, which Dragon needs to be careful because they don't have prio. Actually, never mind, TDH is backing their bot lane.
Yeah.
Vivi
Kitticus
can't
said,
contest it now.
screw your crab pile. You didn't come gank me early. You can deal with the consequences. I need to have my tempo, which I respect. Caitlyn tempo is really important here. Skarner, gold, not so much.
They're lane swapping. We see a lane swap. Atomic and Kitticus went top against
gank onto
Urameshi.
Frost here. The CC comes out. Bubbles cannot land. The charm. Stun still comes out. Cause coming in for the Q. Frost has to flash. 2 tower shots though. But it looks like that shield will be enough that Frost can't find a cheeky QW. Still looking for it. But yeah, Caitlyn, Raw, or top lane.
I think that's a really smart, it looks like they're just gonna swap back, but I think it's really smart from TDH to do that, because I think now they're losing... They lost a whole cannon wave ball lane just to lane swap, and I think that's really good for TDH. I think that's what they wanted. They either don't swap and Urameshi gets punished, or they swap back and they still lose a wave.
Oh, Bubble in trouble here. Flash for flash. Q doesn't mid it. Dragon is here. Kiwi is also here. Gets the stun onto Bubble, who has no flash now. W for the speed up. Q for the speed down. And Kiwi gets a first blood with no assist for the 2 people right there. But XP goes over, and that's going to be a huge deal for Frost in that matchup.
Yeah, that was a really good catch from catching Bubbles there. Really good play. Drake is up. Grubs are about to be up soon.
Right, but both lane carries are top lane now. It looks like a pro game almost here.
I know,
Teleport coming in for Bubble. Yeah, I know. Caitlyn is not bullying Jinx as well in the 1v1 right now. So it does look like Jinx has prio. Sports also looking. With the mid teleport coming in, Lost Chapter as well. Frost. Oh, actually, Arya's just roaming down. Or going for a ward on Dragon to make sure they're not cross-mapping. So Bubbles will be extremely late to this right now. You can see Frost already getting lane prio, starting up the Dragon for Contingent Esports. Meanwhile, King Fifi's here a little early, so that will be a kill. And now, without your jungler, I'm not sure how you get in for this objective. Urameshi fighting Cassandre, but Cassandra's level 6 and you're not. Going all in, and that's a soul kill. So at least that's going well on the cross map. Meanwhile, Rel finding an all-in, Dragon and Dog going really low. Hui will find that kill. Frost also finding onto the Cause. Neon is a little bit in trouble. Gets into the bush, but Hui CC means Cause will go down. And so even though it's 2 grubs for Contingent Esports and they look like they had it with King Vivi getting picked there, suddenly cross map, everything goes to TD Harmony's way.
So much action happening at the start of this game, you know? So this last game, I'll say it again, I love the action. You know, TH securing the kill feeds. Bubbles might get a little caught here from Frost, might just get away. Just
reading
barely.
the ultimate though, which I do like from her. If you can hold your ultimate, that will be a huge timer that you have on Hui. But it does mean you're giving up quite a bit of tempo, because I'm not sure how you get back into this lane for XP.
Oh, I do want to mention Kitticus on Caitlyn did get those 2 kills, which I think is really good. Again, you want to get that Caitlyn ahead, and that's exactly how you want to do it. And now, I do think she needs the back though. She's sitting on 1,500 gold. She has yet to spend that 2-kill gold.
Right, but
and
Nautilus
she's
isn't
still
here.
mashing.
Actually, she's taking a lot of damage here. Meanwhile, Nautilus is finding onto Complex, who has no ultimate. Trundle does now, but it looks like it's just going to be pushing him off the wave. And I believe Kitticus was able to dodge the W, so no summoners used down there. Or up there, sorry, I'm used to 80 carries being bot lane. Silly me. Here comes the re-dive though. Kaz literally just walked around again. They're going for the dive entirely. But Cassante CC is good enough, or CC to dodge. King VV coming in. This is a pretty big angle here, because Rel can come in for the CC. Kaz in trouble again, has no tools to get out, will die. And that means that TD Harmony is just winning on the spot side again.
That was a really good regank for TDH. You know, taking that they tried diving complex and then they got the kill onto Foxhound, and now they got Drake from this. So again, a really good start for TDH here.
Yeah, last time it really came down to TD Harmony losing the early game until Frost made some major plays. This time they just got the early game in hand. You know, King VV got caught once, little sub nerves there, I guess. And then suddenly they're just winning everything.
So who knows, it might now be flip-flop. Who knows, Bubbles might gank top, get 2 kills, and now she's the run in the runner seat, unlike Frost last game. I think
right, but
she's
it's a little
issues... Oh, sorry, I think she's just having issues clearing this wave mid compared to Frost. Wei is a much stronger split pusher than Ari, so I think Bubbles just gonna have to
Caitlyn is caught here. If Kitticus goes down, this would be one weak spot for them. Has to flash out. Still taking Ignite, though, and Cause could look for the hook. Doesn't want to go for it. You know, it's kind of funny. It feels like the pressure that TD Harmony has been everything but the Caitlyn. Yes, she did get gold early from those early kills, but the plays have been elsewhere.
Complex.
And, you know, Caitlyn's just been kind of chilling, and it's okay.
Oh my goodness, I just looked ball and Urmashi just slaughtered those tower platings. About to get 3 tower platings, I think.
Yeah, that is
just
the
shy of
benefit
3.
of the Trundle pick.
Yeah, even though, like, he's not even, like, that far ahead. He has only died once, but, like, you know, the moment you leave him on a tower, you lose half of that tower, and that's exactly what just happened.
Right, which could be their defense against feats. They do have to get first tower and epic monsters, but Trundle might secure that first tower, and then it just comes down to epics.
Yeah. Looking at the gold difference, it's just like just shy of 1,000. Pretty simple at 10 minutes.
Right, and TD Harmony really want to be ahead early with this Caitlyn that kind of falls off, and with Frost being their major source of late game damage. I mean, Cassandra can certainly do things as well. I saw some disgusting things last game, but yeah. I feel like he's going to be on matching Trundle duty for quite a while, so... Speaking of which,
auto-attacking. Tank, he's just a juggernaut. He just does it all. He's a tank, he's a damage dealer.
King VV finding some people invading his jungle. This is not who you want to be face checking. Jinx is caught again. The exhaust goes to Nautilus stuff. He's just too big. I don't think that's who you wanted to target. Now Jinx used barrier though, so that will be Kitticus getting another kill. Frost coming in for some damage of his own. Wow. And the 3 people that came to invade will all go down.
That was really, really patient of VV and Atomic. I gotta give them props to that. The way that they were sitting there in the bush just waiting for them, like, to come there, like, watching their prey. Bubbles, oh
and
no.
Bubbles now getting invaded in her own jungle. The turnabout's fair play, I guess. But I think the real target is going to be those grubs, because Caitlyn with 4 grubs feels pretty good. Rocket for the wave clear means that she's not going to get those too many more plates right now, but she'll be back, don't worry.
Kitticus should really... walk down to these grubs and help. You're 4-0.
Yeah,
you kind of want to help your team
still
here.
Looking, and you're finding an engage where Caitlyn is just nowhere to be found. Charm comes down, Atomic is gone. King VV does not have the ability to fight this, so he's running for his life. Bubbles, however, just has all the time in the world to get that Q, and you said Frost last time got some kind of play in the bot side to get some kind of lead. Bubbles is finding it, Cause. You're still all 4, so be careful, but he'll be fine. Rameshi's stopping this back. But does he want to stop this back? Cassandra doesn't have ult. I just don't know that he needs it. Looks like he's able to dodge out. Oh, nice try, Kitticus.
That was close. But I think that was a misplay for TDH. I think Kitticus needed to walk down and help take these grubs if they wanted to take them. he was just kind of chilling top, you know, hitting the wave. I mean, they're still in a fine spot. Like 4-0, that's where you want your Caitlyn to be. You don't want your Caitlyn going even, because in a later matchup, if Jinx and Caitlyn are even, I think Jinx just takes the game. But you know,
That's what I saw in Arcane. So
yeah, I guess it is the rivalry match there, isn't it?
Yeah. No, Frost coming back here to wave clear, doing his thing. They're not in side lanes yet. The next fight is going to be soon, though, because Dragon's spawning in 48 seconds. And I don't think either team is willing to give up any objective ever in their life from what I've seen from this match so far.
I couldn't tell based on that last fight and how many groups they had before. Did Contingent get the objective point for those grubs? Did they take all three?
I don't believe so.
I
Wait,
think,
actually, I think they did, yeah.
They did?
It is annoying that it's not on the spectator in any way.
Yeah, I wish we could see the
Either way, fight top lane, Urameshi going for this carry pick, and right now it looks like Complex is going to carry him to his grave. Because he's going for the tower knight, goes under, the Trundle ult comes through, takes away his tankiness, and the tower shots are finding him. Urameshi showing why he took this pick. Because it looked really clean there for Complex, and then he went for one tower dive. Meanwhile, King Vivi finding Kaz, who's not level 6 yet. He's just not found the XP yet, gets a hook that maybe he doesn't want, because the Skarner ult misses! So maybe he did want that. Because it baits out Skarner
so
ult.
dangerous. It ended up working out for Foxhound, but I literally like gritted my teeth there. I'm like, oh no, he's dead, and then they missed the Skarner ult, so literally got away by the skin of his teeth. So
Right, but there's no Skarner ult.
now, though.
This dragon just looks a little bit more real. Ari's got first item.
Nautilus Solo's not level 6 though. I neither does Rel though.
One ward. I think one ward will get it or something because they've got to be close. But it looks like they're not looking for a real contest. Rocket will spawn him out just to see if there's anyone low. There isn't. So Bubbles will walk back mid lane.
Alright, so it looks like one more objective needed for TDH. I don't know how many Contingent needs. They either need 3 or 1. It just depends if they got all 3 grubs in that second one, but I really wish we could see that.
I think they got 2 and 2 because the first time they got 2 and then died, so by definition they would have had to gotten 2. I think they don't have the epic for the first one. And that means that they have no epics right now versus 2 epics.
They do have Trundle though.
True. I'm just not sure that they can chain together 3 epics in a row, and maybe they should consider their options on letting feet slide them by.
Yeah. Just like I think going for objectives is still fine, but don't like completely force
supports are finally level 6, but Kaz is in a familiar situation, getting CC'd up, hooking into a Caitlyn, and Kirkus picks up a 5th kill.
That is a strong Caitlyn. I said you want Caitlyn ahead early. That's exactly what they did. What's the gold difference on that? They're sitting at 1,000, pretty much a 1,300 gold lead between the ADCs, Kirkus and Neon, and that's where you want to be on Caitlyn, you know? Like, you're super high ranged, and now you're ahead. You're gonna be.
Oh, Dragon finds Frost, but I'm not sure this is the fight he wants. He gets feared out. Atomic is gonna bring more CC, and Dragon just can't move. He will go down here using the ultimate at the last second. Rocket might find Atomic back, though, so it's not the end of the world for Contingent. Just a 1-for-1. They will lose the objective, though, because Oh, Bubbles looking for something. All she finds is a face full of weight damage, though. And it looks like that did pull Skarner off the Rift Herald, though.
I'm a little bit surprised. I think you still go for it. It's just your support. Atomic's level 6. They're gonna be respawn pretty fast, faster than Volibear, but they're starting it now, which is a little bit interesting. I think it's still fine. They're doing a bunch of damage to it. Rel's now back into the fight. Doesn't look like Contingent's gonna contest it at all, so this is just gonna be feats over and a Rift Herald to TDH here.
Okay, this is interesting because Jinx has red buff. It doesn't matter how many kills Oh, flash over the net! Means Kitticus has to flash away, and if Rocket comes up soon, I think it's about 15 seconds, 20 seconds, Kitticus has got to recall. Because that timer is his death if Youngs can find it.
Yeah, I literally just got away. Oh no. I wonder if Foxhound saw him there for just a slight second, but Kirika is playing super aggressive. And honestly, it's they might get first tower here now. Actually,
Right, but I don't think it matters because they
Yeah.
already got feats, and
Oh,
first
and
tower
they got
doesn't mean
first
anything if you
tower.
got
Yeah.
feats. So
I mean, also
yeah.
first tower still went to TDH because they just got the mid tower just before they got the
Right,
bot
they are getting
one.
feats no matter what, essentially.
Yeah. Well, it's still you still get bonus gold for first tower though, right?
No, they took that out. First Blood
Oh.
and First Tower do not give bonus gold anymore, I believe. It is
Oh,
just
okay.
for feats. They wanted it to be
I'm a
more
noob.
team-oriented. There are a lot of patch notes for the season. Either way, Urameshi kind of making this 1v1 look more real. I thought it was looking disastrous for him after some ganks and some fights where he had no ultimate and the enemy did. Rift Herald will be popped bottom lane just to make sure we get this tower. And that will be a lot of gold going over.
I'd be careful riding this the second time. Oh, it looks like yeah, no one's there to stop him, so I think it's fine. Yeah, he gets out okay.
There's a rocket to
Just
stop him,
arrow.
and that's about it. Complex finding on Urameshi again. Trundle ult also coming out, but it just isn't enough without the tower available. Urameshi has to run for his life. Is healing a little bit, but the Cassante, 2024 champion is just a little bit too much.
Fair champ, right?
Right. King Vivi, dragging away, dragon in, and Kitticus is auto-attacking, but the shield coming through means he'll be okay. Meanwhile, Kaz pulls in Serena with no cooldowns. Caitlin's caught. Has to barrier. Is not taking too much damage though because there's no follow-up. Here comes Ari though. Ulting in, finding Qs. That's a huge shutdown. Ari is going off right now. Bubbles will pick up another kill on Atomic. Complex cannot chase down an Ari with this many ult charges. Neon meanwhile got resets but can't reset into the damage coming out. Frost will pick that up. But the beneficiary really is Bubbles, who picked up, I believe, 3 kills there.
Yeah, Bubbles got a bunch of kills there and a shutdown. I do think she falls here, though.
I don't think she's picking up this
Run!
one, though.
Yeah. Fortunately, now a shutdown does go back over to Frost, so now, even though Bubbles did get those kills, Frost is now equal in those kills, and actually, there's only a 200 gold difference in mid now, so big bloodbath down there. It did help Bubbles get back in the game, so it was a really good fight for Contingent. Drake is now up, so let's see.
Yeah, there are a
how
lot
this
of ults used. Urameshi bringing some pressure to the top lane has teleport advantage as well. So right now, Trundle can teleport and Cassante can't. But on the map, next to the Dragon Pit, is TD Harmony, so it might not matter. Trundle isn't looking for a teleport angle yet. Now he is, though! Kaz has a hook angle, too! So Atomic has to walk away. But you don't want to engage on the Relv. Skarner is here, gets charmed, another teleport coming in. Dragon just isn't tanky enough yet, though. Vivi isn't either. He will go down. Ari still has so many options. Picks up the charm. Kitticus goes down without that many autos. Ray damage is real, though! Get away from Urameshi! And the QW almost lands as well. So even though Cassante wasn't available, just by the benefit of Hwei ultimate hitting absolutely everyone, it's an even fight.
Yeah, Frost really came out on top on that fight. Just the Hwei damage is insane, and Bubbles actually killed Urameshi with the ult, ulted into Urameshi when he was low and killed her own teammate. It was very unfortunate, but Drake is still up, still uncontested, although Complex pushing out top, and now neither of them have TP, so we'll see how this next fight goes, because I'm assuming...
Right, but committing your Jinx top lane is kind of scary, because she has no ability to get over there anytime soon. And I don't think she's gonna be available for this fight.
Yeah, they're gonna take advantage of that. Hey, Jinx was top, obviously she doesn't have TP, let's just start this Drake right now. If they start hitting it. They need to start hitting it, though.
Yeah, Jinx ult will scout it out. They'll see it's very healthy. There's still steal potential from Dragon, but Kaz is the one in here first, and there's just no follow-up. Bubbles also has to ult away, still looking well. Flash in for the ultimate. Doesn't find much. Jinx is finally here. King Vivi's a mile behind. Hwei ult only finding the smite. Urameshi just caught without a team, so he will also go down. I mean, Trundle ult's gonna be a good try. There's no way you can 1v4. So they're gonna pick up the dragon here. Nice steal attempt from Bubbles, but Smite wins every time.
Yeah, these are really really good fights from TDH. They're really showing like how strong their team works. And it looks like they're just running straight over to Otacon. They know Urameshi still has 20 seconds up. Dragon only has 10 seconds. The player, not the objective. Obviously, she's taken.
And Neon has to be careful here, though. They have a really good flank potential, and Jinx just doesn't have
Neon.
tools. I understand that they're probably going to go for the objective, but the objective is 2 inches away from your face. You can't be splitting there. And they're just going to pick up that kill along with the objective.
They just didn't have the vision. They didn't think that they were going to Audica. I don't think they didn't have the vision on it, so she thought she was safe, and Neon was not.
Well, at least one split pusher will get some tower, which is Bubbles. Getting a little bit more gold for herself. I just don't think it's going to match the 7-0 Hui with 3 dragons and Audicon.
Yeah,
And it was the GA Audicon as well.
They also have feats.
Now, GA will not last for Dragon Soul at least, but it's looking tough.
I mean, it's going to be up for Baron though, so we'll see how this goes. Because it's it's 150 seconds. Drake's up in 2 minutes. So they might look to do a fight just before Baron starts, or just take it right as it's up. But I do like how Bubbles realized like that she could get something out of it. They're on Audicon. Hey, I can just take mid tower, you know, so it's not like the end of the world, you know, that they're not getting absolutely nothing from it. So it was really good sight from her, like that she saw that. So props to her.
Right, but I mean, once Frost backs, it's going to be arm guard for 3rd item building into Hui just having a full 3rd item, I think. With 10 stacks on Dark Seal as well. The Hui damage is going to be massive. Especially, wait, actually, Kaz might find an angle here. I don't think it's worth it though because the GAs are available. Kaz has to flash out, and they don't even get anything of it in return.
Yeah, now Kaz has to back here, just running straight back to base. And they're just gonna keep pushing, putting pressure on this top side of the map because they know Baron's up soon.
Right, get all of the vision cleared. They are going to have to face check into you, and honestly, you don't even have to force them to face check. Just start at Baron. You'll be fine. Recall timers will be interesting, though, because Baron spawns in 30 seconds. Dragon looking for a fight, though. Meanwhile, Wel's looking for a fight in the middle of a lot of people, and it just doesn't matter because they have GA, so even though Well might go down here, Skarner ult, finding Cause, Jinx doesn't get resets, and is also exhausted because of the Audicon. Now, that is only 200 gold over, and they didn't quite get anything for it. They got Nautilus for it. But, I don't know, because they didn't get the reset. I'm not sure that they can Baron with this either. And this 1v1 looks so unfair whenever Complex has the GA, by the way.
Yeah, I don't even think they need the Baron. You know, Complex is still pushing out bot, they're pushing out top, and
they just get a full all-in. Trundle ult comes out. Bubbles gets suppressed up before she can even... she doesn't even have ult available. Meanwhile, Urameshi fighting for his life against a Complex that doesn't care if he dies. And he won't. He will get the kill instead. And now Caitlyn doing Caitlyn things. Has to flash that hook at least. But the entire map is TD Harmonies to play with.
Yeah, all 5 players up from TD Harmony. They are a little bit low, so I don't think they can take Baron. But Complex is just going to take this bottom tower. No one's down there to contest him. And then, yeah, like... TDH kind of looking unstoppable here right now.
I'm not sure what the avenue back in for Contingent is, because they've got this Jinx like last time, sure, but she hasn't gotten the resets before, and I don't see how it starts now. Oh, it starts with a rocket on Atomic's face whenever he's taking a little word, like, hey, that's my word, don't touch it, but so I think they're going to be denying vision a little bit more.
I wonder what they're gonna
whichever.
go for.
Dealer's choice. Yeah. It doesn't matter. You can choose either and win this game very handedly.
I think what Contingent have to do here is, now that they know that they aren't winning the fights, they just have to try going for the other objective, whatever TDH don't go for. So if they see like the vision down here being like, hey, I see Nautilus down here, they're probably gonna take the dragon. Maybe we just take Baron and replace, you know? Because I don't think they should look to fight.
Yeah, and honestly, even if TD Harmony decide to take Dragon, I'm not sure the Contingent can finish Baron in time. And Baron versus Soul is also very difficult. They do have some damage with the Trundle, but the Jinx only has 2 items. Right, I don't know that they can trade, because going cross-map for Baron here, I don't think they finish it in time, so they decide they want to fight for the Soul. Which is respectable. Giving up Infernal Soul is a very tough pill to swallow, but your Volibear's already half health. Rocket has to be used for vision, and all it finds is a Cassante full health bar. And we're gonna see a mid DC for a little bit. And it's one of those unfortunate pauses where it's like
big fights about to happen.
not even big fights about to happen. It's like you already are standing in a really bad position and your mid just DC'd. Can you imagine just sitting there knowing that it's very likely you lose this game and you don't even have your mid connected?
Right.
It's got to be very hard for Contingent here.
So how do you think Contingent gets back into this game?
Dragon Steel is how it starts.
And
And then you give up the Baron, because that Hui just does way too much damage. And then you give up one inhib, and then you farm up, I guess. That's the only way I see it.
Or they bush cheese with Nautilus Volley. They get a shutdown because 3 of their players have gold. Or they send everyone bot for Complex, or wherever Complex is, gets a shutdown. And if they get the pick, they get the reset on Jinx. And then Neon can pew-pew the enemy team and possibly win a team fight. I think
Neon
they just need a
definitely
pick.
pew, pew, pew
I think that's
heavy.
all that they need.
I mean, it starts... I mean, does a pick really help them if they have to give up Soul here? Because I think that's what's happening on my screen right
Later
now.
on, I mean, like, after Drake, I mean, like... I think they need to start getting these picks because, like, obviously not now because they're on Drake, but they have Nautilus, they have Ahri, they have Volley. They should be really looking for these now that they know that they don't win fights, and I feel like they haven't been looking for those opportunities.
Right, so let's see if they're willing to take that pill and just accept that Soul is gone. Because we're about to see an unpause.
Dragon's also half HP. I don't think he's stealing this. I mean, he could go for the
Right.
steal himself and just try, and it's a possible one death. It looks like they're gonna go for it.
He is gonna go for it. He's ulting it. He does get the fight. He does get the steal. Now you just accepted death. Run away. You're not going for that fight. And I think you accept the Baron's going down. Try to get bot objective bounty as well. Looks like they're chasing though. But there's just no ability to really fight without your volley bear. We're gonna see a small pause because of the pause lag. And you can see that Nautilus is also clearing out vision, so not the entire team is not bought into the strategy.
No, please just push mid and bot. Don't go chasing it. Don't go
I
chasing
do like the idea of Nautilus being like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it my damn self. I'm pushing top lane. Jinx will catch up eventually.
Or
It
Meshi's
will-
going down the help.
Yeah, and that is pretty quick. I mean, you've got Jinx Trundle, right? Yes, Baron recall into Baron minions will mean you won't get much more, but this inner tower is worth a lot of gold, especially with the objective bounty. And you denied Soul.
Yeah, that was a really good play by Dragon. That was really well done.
Yeah, now don't get greedy here. They do have Baron recall. But it looks like the charm is going to land on Cassandra. I just don't think they ever win this fight. And now they're in a position where the enemy team's going to chase you and they find Kaz. And Bubbles might have stayed too long as well to try to protect this. I mean, Bubbles has Ahri ult, and Ahri ult will be up before the next fight as well. But it might not be enough flash ult from Atomic. That's a pretty big cooldown to get. So it's not an entire disaster for Contingent. Really nice Jinxie to stop the chase.
Yeah, they definitely overstayed their stay just a little bit. Kaz thought he got his recall off, but unfortunately got Q3'd by the Cassante just in time. I think mid tower falls here, yeah. I think Inhib's gonna fall here as well.
Yeah, I think giving up one Inhib is fine whenever you have Jinx. It's a little hard in the Kaelin. It's a little hard to thread that needle of not losing the entire game. But I mean, it's mid Inhib, right? Like, who really cares that this goes down?
But just how much can you give to the point where they can just end off of it? They got a 12.
Looks like they don't want to give anything. Because I think Ramesh is looking for an angle. But instead he gets rooted. The wave clear just isn't there into the Baron minions. But Kedicus is not hitting the tower, so... Despite the wave taking quite a while to die, the tower's still alive.
I think once next wave is here, though, this tower is going to drop. Caitlyn just has so much range, and yeah, you're not going to see that tower.
And Bubbles is a low health as well, because she stepped on a trap to clear it.
Oh my goodness, I just realized, look at the top level difference.
Yeah.
Level 14 and level 17.
Oh, and the fight starts with Bubbles being at no health. If this goes anywhere, Ramesh is just caught. Kaz also a little bit caught. Now these double Nexus towers are helping a little bit. One reset here is all Jinx needs, gets one, and Atomic is low as well, but they just get the walk away from the excited Jinx. And now you have to deal with quite the pressure on your Nexus towers. Complex can just walk up and zone the Jinx out. This could be the match right here. There's only one cannon minion though. Complex is taking a Nexus tower. That's another kill for Jinx, which is another reset, but it's not happening. Complex is just still alive, right in the face of a Jinx auto-attacking her, or attacking him. And that will be TD Harmony closing it out from start to finish. Early lead to Nexus exploding.
I just what is Cassante? Like, that champion
Yeah.
is not human, but oh my goodness, what a banger of a latch match.
I was
I
like
just
slowly raising my volume to get ready for the Jinx popping off, and then we're gonna, start casting for another 30 minutes, and then Cassante just
but no,
doesn't die.
Cassante was just like, hey, that tickles, and then just 100-0 Jinx's health bar. But wow, what a game! I just want to mention Frost on Hui did 37,000 damage, Caitlyn with 25,000. Really high damage that game. Actually, Frost didn't die at all that game. He had a perfect KDA with 21, which is pretty well done. Based on these two matches, who's your MVP of this series?
I mean, it's gotta be Frost, right? Look at
Yeah,
the
I
crazy amount of
agree.
damage and kills. Like,
And
Complex
then
definitely
Yoda's
did well on
well.
Cassante both games. I feel like there were definitely moments where he dictated the game both in side lane and in team fights. But Frost dictated the entirety of game one,
Yeah.
essentially on his own. And then game two, the rest of his team did really well too, but he's still sitting there, 10 kills, and doing crazy amounts of damage.
Yeah, I will say, everyone on TDH, not a single one of them, played poorly. Each one of them had, their good fights, Complex just being, a demon in the side lane, no
Oh,
one can even that last fight where you think he's about to die, and he goes, "Nope," and then almost just kills, Neon on Jinx. And then, Skarner, Atomic, and Vivi just, being really patient. I just wanna mention, that Bush play earlier in game 2, where there's being super, super patient, and then basically got a really good ult combo off and basically won that fight for them. And then Kitika's just being a demon in the ADC, you want to get ahead on Caitlyn, and that's exactly what happened. I think just everyone just played really good this series.
yeah. Now, I do have news because there is still one match being played, but it's between the two O3 teams, I believe. So we know our playoff bracket, essentially.
Oh, okay,
Um,
that's cool.
Yeah, so TD Harmony will obviously be seed one, so they get a bye. But Chrono Break or Contingent also get a bye for being seed two. They just also know that they're going to be playing against Chrono Break because that's the third team that gets a bye. And then the two teams that are playing right now will have a repeat next week. Or yeah, I believe we're skipping tiebreakers because there shouldn't be a tie that matters. I'm not 100% on
Right.
that, but either way, we're gonna see yeah, there's no tiebreaker, so next week we'll be seeing Tactical Freeze versus Jolly Rogers. And then they will play TD Harmony. Meanwhile, on the other side, Chrono Break is going to be playing Contingent Esports Purple. And that is basically our playoff brackets.
Yeah, it was really good. I think it's gonna be really banger. I hope these two teams get to play each other again sometime in the playoffs. And if it is,
Absolutely.
hopefully I'm casting it because, this was a really fun series to watch.
Yeah, I expect that because it's double elim, they will definitely be playing at some point.
Yeah.
Either way, it was a really nice set of games. King Vivi definitely stepped in for Toxin and brought a lot of CC for his team. But Frost continued to show that those mid lane bans were very important.
Yeah.
And I've been Scarlet here with Star, and we are done for Arbiter until playoffs, basically.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see them next week, or is it
Yes,
tiebreak?
because
Well, night
tiebreakers,
tiebreakers will be streamed. Yeah, I'm assuming they will.
tiebreakers are skipped
Oh, there
because
is
there
no
is
tie.
no
Oh yeah, no,
ties.
there's no
Hmm.
tiebreakers. So I guess 2 weeks from now, or does it
Yep,
go straight into playoffs?
I believe it
Straight
goes
into
straight into
playoffs.
playoffs.
Okay.
Yes, so we will see the lowest seeds first, which again will be Jolly Roger. I just had this pulled up 1 second. And OSG Tactical Freeze. And then we'll start to see these two teams playing. I believe the stream game will be TD Harmony versus the winner of that one. And then that's whenever it gets into double elimination. And next week is the only best of 3 left. OSG versus Jolly Rogers will play a best of 3, and then after that, it's best of 5, double of them from there on out.
All right, this seems like a good games coming up pretty much in Arbiter, is what I'm hearing.
Yes. Either way, thank you all for joining. I'm excited for the playoff bracket because I think these two teams will likely be contenders for in that grand finals. I mean, there are definitely some other teams that could make an upset. Sometimes, teams take a little bit while, especially since there are only 5 weeks because we're doing this triple split format. Sometimes the team just pops off late in the game and they're all available. No team is eliminated from playoffs yet. But TD Harmony and Contingent Esports absolutely will be people that you talk about for potential winners of the split.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Join us all for the rest of the week of the rest of the leagues, but we'll see you next week for Arbiter for play-ins.
Look, there's my home, there's my wall. See, it's the flower